What if the path to mastering your life wasn't in more hustle, more noise, or chasing more goals, but in slowing down, breathing deeper, and following ancient wisdom refined over 1,500 years? In a world obsessed with shortcuts and hacks, the Shaolin monks offer something radically different. Timeless principles that forge unshakable discipline, mental clarity, and inner power. These aren't just martial arts philosophies, these are codes for life, etched in silence, practiced in hardship, and proven through action. And today, I'm going to reveal the 7 core Shaolin rules that will transform how you think, move, and live. These rules aren't about being perfect, they're about being present. They're not about impressing others, they're about mastering yourself. Whether you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, unmotivated, or just searching for a deeper level of meaning and focus, the Shaolin way will guide you. Because this isn't just about fighting your external enemies. It's about conquering the most dangerous one, your undisciplined mind. From daily discipline to mental stillness, from intentional action to purposeful service. These 7 Shaolin teachings will challenge your excuses, disrupt your comfort, and awaken the warrior within you. So, if you're tired of living on autopilot, if you crave real control over your time, your energy, your mind, then it's time to enter the dojo of life, where every moment is training and every choice is a step toward mastery. Let's begin the journey. The call to discipline, the foundation of mastery. Before you can master your life, before you can conquer challenges, reach your goals, or influence the world around you, you must first master yourself. And at the heart of that self-mastery lies a force that most people avoid. Discipline. Discipline is the foundation of the Shaolin way. It is the silent force behind every powerful warrior, every wise monk, every master of their craft. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it is relentless. It shows up when motivation disappears. It holds the line when emotion tries to take over. Discipline doesn't ask if you feel like doing the work. It simply demands that you do it. Shaolin monks wake up long before the sun. They don't check their phones or scroll through distractions. They step into routine, into form, into ritual, training in the cold, moving in silence, practicing the same motion thousands of times, not because it's exciting, but because it builds something greater than talent. It builds character. This is what the modern world has forgotten. We chase comfort, we seek shortcuts, we look for hacks and quick fixes. But mastery has no shortcuts. There is no elevator to greatness. You must take the stairs every single day. Discipline teaches you something, motivation never will. How to move forward without a feeling. It teaches you how to build muscle when you're tired, how to show up when no one is clapping, how to sharpen your mind when everything around you is chaotic. Shaolin monks don't train harder than everyone else because they are superhuman. They do it because they honor the process. They understand that discipline is not a punishment. It is a path that leads you out of laziness, out of weakness, and into the life you are meant to live. When you develop discipline, you begin to trust yourself. You say, I will do this. And then you actually do it. That's power. That's self-respect. And it's rare. It's easy to complain about your situation, easy to blame time, people, or bad luck. But the truth is this: discipline sets you free. It frees you from being controlled by your emotions. It frees you from regret. It frees you from the trap of average. So if you want to master your life, stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to be in the mood. Start now, start small, but start with discipline. Remember, the first step toward becoming your highest self is not motivation. It's not inspiration. It's commitment. Discipline is how warriors are born. Discipline is how peace is built. And discipline is how you become the master, not just of your craft, but of your life. Master the mind. Control your thoughts or be controlled. Your mind is your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. And that truth is at the heart of Shaolin philosophy. Before a monk strikes with his body, he sharpens his mind, because without control of your thoughts, every effort, every move, every decision becomes clouded by doubt, fear, and confusion. Shaolin rule 2, the mind must be silent before the soul can speak. Live in a world addicted to noise, notifications, opinions, comparisons, distractions. Every day your mind is being pulled in 1,000 directions. If you don't take control of it, someone or something else will. You see, most people spend their lives reacting to stress, reacting to criticism, reacting to problems. But the Shaolin warrior does not react. He responds with clarity, intention, and focus. That clarity is forged in silence, in meditation, in stillness. Because only in silence can we truly hear what our inner voice is trying to say. Your thoughts create your reality. Think weak thoughts and you'll live a weak life. Think fearful thoughts and fear will guide your actions. But when you begin to master your thinking, when you take ownership of your mind, you take ownership of your entire life. But make no mistake, mastering the mind is not easy. It requires training, it requires presence, it requires awareness. Shaolin monks meditate not just to relax, but to observe the mind, to understand it, to learn the patterns. The moment you become aware of your thoughts is the moment you gain power over them. You begin to separate your identity from your emotions. You stop saying, I'm angry, and instead realize, I am experiencing anger, and I can choose how to respond. That is freedom. Master HENG teaches that the mind is like a garden. If you don't plant flowers intentionally, weeds will grow automatically. If you don't guide your thoughts towards strength, wisdom, and peace, your mind will default to chaos. So, how do you begin mastering your mind? Start by creating stillness. Even 5 minutes of silence a day can rewire your thinking. Practice breath control, because when your breath is calm, your mind follows. Challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought helping or hurting me? Feed your mind with purpose. Choose empowering words, read truth, and listen to wisdom. Remember, a strong mind builds a strong life. It's not about being fearless, it's about recognizing fear and choosing courage anyway. It's not about never having doubts, it's about not letting those doubts make your decisions. Master your mind and you stop being a slave to your circumstances. You become the architect of your emotions, the driver of your destiny. And when your mind is calmly and centered, there is no obstacle you cannot overcome. No storm you cannot walk through. No dream you cannot build. The true battle is not out there, it's in here. Win that and you've already won everything. Embrace pain as your teacher. Turn suffering into strength. Most people run from pain. They avoid discomfort like it's the enemy. But the Shaolin philosophy flips that mindset completely. Shaolin Rule 3, what resists you reshapes you. Pain is not a punishment, it's not your enemy. It is your teacher. Think about the strongest people you know, the most disciplined, the most courageous. They didn't get there by cruising to comfort. They got there by walking through fire again and again. Master HENG teaches that pain is a mirror. It reflects the areas of our lives that require growth. That moment when your muscles ache, that's the body evolving. That moment when life breaks your heart, that's the soul being refined. That moment when rejection stings or failure humbles you, that's your ego shedding. The Shaolin monks endure harsh physical training, repetition, fatigue, pushing their limits, not just to gain strength, but to condition their minds to be unshaken in the face of pain. Are you asking me why? Because pain introduces you to who you really are. When you stop avoiding pain, something powerful happens. You begin to transform it. You begin to turn your wounds into wisdom, your heartbreak into higher purpose, your failures into fuel. Understand this. Pain is part of the path. It's not a detour. It's the fire that tempers your spirit like steel. Without pressure, coal remains coal. But with time and weight, it becomes a diamond. So how do you embrace pain? First, stop labeling it as bad. pain simply is, next, lean into it. Ask, what is this teaching me? Then use it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it remind you why you started. Let it become your discipline when your motivation fades. Every time you push through what's uncomfortable, you're building mental resilience. You're telling your subconscious, I do hard things. I don't run, I rise. It's easy to smile when everything's going well. But character is built in the storms. Growth comes in the resistance. Shaolin monks don't train because it's pleasant. They train because it awakens something ancient in them, something raw and real. A connection to discipline, a connection to spirit, a connection to purpose. So don't curse the hard times. Don't run from what hurts. Let pain shape you. Let it teach you. Let it evolve you. Remember this truth. If you numb the pain, you numb the power. Let it sharpen you, not shatter you. Let it guide you, not define you. One day you will look back and realize the moments that tested you the most were the moments that built the version of you who could not be broken. Move like water, the power of flexibility and flow. Shaolin Rule 4, be like water, adaptable, fluid and unstoppable. What does this mean? Water has no shape, yet it takes the shape of everything it enters. It doesn't resist, it adapts. It doesn't argue, it flows. And in that flow, it moves around obstacles, seeps through cracks, wears down stone and finds its way. Always, this is how the Shaolin monks move through life. Too often people try to control every single outcome. They demand perfection, they resist change, and when life doesn't go according to their script, they fall apart. Why? Because rigidity breaks, but flexibility bends and survives. In martial arts, stiffness leads to defeat. A rigid stance is easy to knock down, but when your body and your mind are trained to move like water, nothing can keep you stuck. You slip past resistance. You remain centered even in chaos. Life is unpredictable, plans fall apart, people disappoint you, circumstances shift. But instead of letting that crush you, learn to pivot. Shaolin teachings emphasize adaptability, not weakness. Flexibility is not surrender, it's a strength. It means knowing who you are, but being open to change. It means holding on to your principles, but letting go of your expectations. Think about it. When water hits a rock, it doesn't get angry. It flows around it, and eventually it carves the rock itself. That's the kind of patience and power you gain when you live like water. Here's how to start practicing this principle. Let go of rigid expectations. Don't be attached to the exact how or when. Stay focused on your why. Practice mental agility. Learn to reframe setbacks as redirections. What feels like an obstacle may be your greatest teacher. Stay grounded but fluid. Have values that anchor you, but habits that can evolve. Trust the process. Just because something doesn't go your way doesn't mean it's not going your way. This mindset helps you maintain inner peace in outer storms. You stop wasting energy trying to force things. Instead, you flow toward what's right. Master HENG, he often says, when you fight the current, you drown. When you flow with it, you discover new shores. That's not just poetic, it's powerful. When you embrace flexibility, you gain a calm confidence. You don't panic when plans shift. You don't fear change, you welcome it, knowing that your adaptability is your edge. So ask yourself, can I flow with what life is teaching me? Can I adjust without losing myself? Can I stay in motion even when the path changes? Water is soft, but it is also the most persistent force on earth. And like water, you too can become powerful, not by force, but by flow. Remember, rigid minds break, but flexible spirits rise, reshape and return stronger every time. Train every day, build unbreakable consistency. Shaolin Rule 5. What you do daily, you become permanently. Discipline may spark the fire, but it's consistency that keeps it burning. The Shaolin monks understand this better than anyone. They don't train once a week, They don't practice only when they feel like it. They train every single day, without excuse, without exception, because they know one truth. Mastery is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. Consistency is the difference between a wish and a reality. It's the difference between talking about change and living it. You don't become strong by working out once. You don't gain wisdom by meditating once. And you don't build character by making one good choice. You build it by showing up again and again long after the mood has left. The Shaolin way is about rhythm, repetition, ritual. It's about crafting your life like a sculptor chisels stone, patiently, persistently, day after day. Here's what most people get wrong. They wait for motivation. But motivation is fleeting. It's a feeling, not a foundation. Consistency is what keeps you moving when motivation disappears. Master SHI teaches that it's not what you do occasionally that transforms you, it's what you do consistently even when no one's watching. So how do you build this type of consistency? Start small. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Build momentum with tiny wins. Set rituals, not goals. Goals have endpoints. Rituals become part of your identity. Track your progress. Celebrate the days you show up. Progress compounds. Remove the choice. Don't ask yourself if you're going to do it. Decide that you are, no matter what. Consistency trains not only the body, but the mind and the spirit. It rewires your identity. Every time you stick to your path, you tell your inner self, I am disciplined, I am dependable, and eventually it becomes who you are. Consistency doesn't mean perfection. You'll miss a day, you'll stumble, that's okay. But the real question is, do you get back up? You recommit, do you return to the path? Even a river over time carves mountains. And that's what daily training does. It shapes you into someone unstoppable. The world today is addicted to quick fixes, instant results. But the Shaolin know that nothing great is built in a hurry. Excellence is crafted through hours of unseen practice. The wisdom is earned through quiet discipline. When you train every day, you become resilient. You don't break under pressure, you rise through it. You don't fear failure, you learn from it. You don't need to prove yourself, you become the proof. So don't aim for intense effort once in a while. Aim for intentional effort every single day. Let every repetition build your power. Let every morning be your practice. Let every action align with the life you're creating. In the end, your consistency becomes your character. And your character is your destiny. Live with intention. Every move must have purpose. Shaolin Rule 6. Do nothing without awareness. Every movement, every breath, every word must carry meaning. In the modern world, distraction is the disease. People rush through life, checking boxes, going through motions, endlessly scrolling, constantly reacting, but rarely living with awareness. And in that chaotic blur, they forget something sacred. Your time, energy, and attention are your most powerful resources. Shaolin monks understand this on a deep level. Every move they make is deliberate. Whether it's walking, bowing, eating, or training, they do it with full presence. No wasted motion, no unconscious habits. Every action is infused with purpose. This is what it means to live with intention. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about making decisions from clarity, not convenience. Most people live in a reactive loop, doing things because that's how it's always been done or because everyone else is doing it. But the Shaolin way demands consciousness. You are not just living, you are crafting your life. Moment by moment, Master HENG teaches, your life is your form, sculpted carefully. That means, don't speak out of impulse, speak with purpose. Don't chase noise, follow your truth. Don't waste time. Invest it in who you want to become. When you live intensely, even the smallest actions become powerful. Waking up early becomes a declaration, I value my time. Meditating becomes a statement, I value my mind. Training your body becomes a reminder, I value my strength. Saying no becomes a boundary. I value my peace. Every time you choose intention over impulse, you reclaim your power. So how do you build this mindset? Start with awareness. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Before any action. Create space. Don't rush decisions. Give yourself time to respond instead of react. Remove distractions. Focus sharpens when noise is reduced. Align your actions with your values. Let your behavior reflect who you want to become. Living with intention transforms how you work, how you love, how you lead, and how you grow. It removes the clutter and replaces it with clarity. The world will try to pull you in 1,000 directions, but when you live with intention, you move in one, forward, with discipline and direction. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. So let every action be a step toward mastery. Let every breath be a return to the present. Let every day be a conscious choice, not just another page on the calendar. The Shaolin don't stumble through life hoping to become great. They choose greatness, one intentional act at a time. And so can you. Conquer the mind, master your inner world before the outer one. Shaolin Rule 7. The true battle is within. Control the mind and you control your life. The Shaolin understand the truths that most ignore. Before you can ever hope to conquer the world, you must first conquer your own mind. Because your mind is the gatekeeper of your reality, it can either be your strongest weapon or your greatest enemy. The average person lives in a state of mental chaos. Thoughts racing, doubts growing, fear, anxiety, comparison, all swirling in a storm of confusion. And when the mind is undisciplined, your actions follow. You hesitate, you self-sabotage, you break under pressure. But the Shaolin warrior does not live by emotion alone. He trains his mind like a sword, sharp, still, and in control. Master HENG teaches that the external world is a reflection of your internal discipline. You cannot expect peace in your life if there is war in your mind. That's why meditation, silence, and stillness are central to the Shaolin path. Because in stillness, you hear the truth. In silence, you see your weaknesses. And in reflection, you reclaim your power. So how do you begin to master the mind? Start with awareness. Catch your thoughts. Are they helping you or hurting you? Stop identifying with every emotion. You are not with fear. You are not your doubt. You are the observer, the calm behind the storm. Create daily mental rituals. Meditate, breathe, journal, sit with yourself. Make it a practice to declutter your inner space. Challenge limiting beliefs. If your mind says, I can't, respond with, watch me. Mental discipline is a daily battle, but it is one worth fighting. Because when your mind is still, focused and sharp, nothing external can shake you. You stop reacting to life and start responding with clarity. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming a creator of them. This is why Shaolin monks walk with such calm presence. It's not arrogance, it's mastery. They have faced their own minds and refuse to bow. Understand this, your mind will try to keep you comfortable. It will resist discomfort. It will lie to you and tell you that you're not enough. But once you train it, you break that illusion. You realize that everything you ever needed was already within you. A strong mind does not mean the absence of fear. It means fear no longer controls your decisions. It means pressure doesn't crack you, it refines you. It means a failure doesn't destroy you, it teaches you. To ask yourself, who is in control? Is your mind running you or are you running your mind? Because the day you master your thoughts, you master your direction. And the moment you conquer your mind, nothing outside of you can conquer your spirit. The path to power begins within. Walk it with courage. Serve others, strength with purpose, power with compassion. Shaolin Rule 8. True mastery is not about dominating others, it's about serving with strength. In the Shaolin tradition, personal excellence is not the final goal, it's a bridge, a means to uplift others. The highest form of discipline, wisdom, and strength is not found in isolation, but in how you use those qualities to impact the world around you. This is where many people go wrong. They chase success only for themselves. They seek power not to lead but to control. They grow strong but lose connection with compassion. And in that pursuit, they become empty, because real fulfillment never comes from what you take. It comes from what you give. The Shaolin monks live by a code. With every skill you master, there must come humility. With every strength you gain, there must come responsibility. They train for hours, meditate for years, and sharpen their bodies and minds, not to look impressive, to be of service, to protect peace, to guide others, to heal, not harm. That is what it means to live a life of purpose. So, how do you apply this in your own life? Share your lessons. If you've overcome something, help someone else do the same. Lead by example. Your discipline can inspire others to rise with you. Be kind in your strengths. Don't use your growth to look down on others. Use it to lift them up. Give back without expectation. True service doesn't seek recognition, it flows from gratitude. Master SHI often reminds his students, you train to master yourself, but you live to serve others. And that is the final layer of Shaolin wisdom. You don't just become powerful, you become meaningful. Because a life lived only for the self is a small life. But a life lived in contribution becomes immortal in impact. When you help someone rise, you multiply your strength. When you speak words that heal, your voice gains weight. When your discipline light the path for someone lost, you have done more than succeed. You have served a higher calling. In a world obsessed with personal gain, be the one who uses growth for good. Be the one who walks with confidence but speaks with humility. Be the one who proves that greatness is not loud, it is quiet, generous, and deeply rooted in love. So take all you've learned, the mental clarity, the physical discipline, the spiritual strength, and ask yourself, how can I serve? Because that is where your true legacy begins. To master your life, you must go beyond yourself. To become truly powerful, you must become truly useful. And to walk the Shaolin path is to be a warrior, not of war, but of wisdom, compassion, and service. Let your strength be your offering. Let your life be your message. And let your purpose reach far beyond your own reflection. Turn wisdom into action. The Shaolin way begins now. You've just heard the 7 Shaolin rules, 7 timeless principles that have shaped warriors, monks, and masters for centuries. These are not just ideas to admire. They are not motivational quotes to scroll past and forget. They are disciplines to live by. Because the truth is, real mastery doesn't happen in a single moment. It's built in the thousands of silent, unseen moments when no one is watching. It's built when you wake up early, even when your mind begs for comfort. It's built when you sit still and face your inner chaos instead of running from it. It's built when you choose discipline over distraction, humility over ego, and purpose over pleasure. The Shaolin monks didn't become powerful overnight. They became powerful because they committed to a way of life, a system of thought, action, and presence that forged their strength from the inside out. And now you have that path in front of you. You've learned the value of discipline. You've understood the power of silence. You've recognized the need to control your mind, to move with intention, and to live for something greater than yourself. The question now is, will you apply it? The world will offer you every excuse to forget this. It will distract you, tempt you, and try to pull you back into comfort and noise. But remember, comfort never made a warrior. Easy never made anyone great. So take these rules and bring them into your daily life. Start with 1. Start small. But start. Wake up with purpose. Move with presence. Speak with clarity. Serve with strength. And train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. When you honor these teachings, you're not just following ancient wisdom, you're creating your own legacy. You're walking a sacred path of self-mastery. And in doing so, you become a living example of what's possible when ancient truth meets modern courage. Let the world rush. Let it crave noise and speed. You will walk slowly. You will walk powerfully. And you will walk with meaning. Because a true master is not loud. A true master is still, focused, and dangerous in silence. So now the training begins, not in the temple, but in your daily choices. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be present. Remember the rules, live them. And one day the world will look at you and ask, how did you become so unshakable? And your answer will be simple, I followed the Shaolin way.